Hey guys, Loma02, getting ready to play a game of 100 card Singleton. I think I'm going to play with Storm right now. It's a deck that took a long time building and have not really gotten as much play out of it in recent time frames. So let me see if I can find the darn thing. Should be labeled under the... There we go. And we're going to play against player Lila Puri. They also make, or he also makes pretty creative decks. And I think the Storm deck's fairly creative. Especially when you're playing with Singleton cards. Oops. Alright, what do we think of this hand? I don't like it, but I'm going to keep this on the draw. My opponent's mulliganing 2, which is not good, especially on the play in 100 card. Alright, Sungrass Prairie, a land that does nothing in and of itself. Well, that was a very strong pickup. Could have turned one Inquisition there, maybe that was more proper, actually. Yeah. Well, I'm going to just brainstorm now to get it out of the way. What don't I want in this hand? Well, at this point, I think we can get rid of the Inquisition, and I think we can put one land back on top and let him put his Wild Growth on a Plains card there. Adds an extra green, right? Yes. Do I want the Inquisition back? Probably not. So I'm going to find, I believe here, just Volcanic Island and play out the Goblin Electromancer. And ideally have a pretty explosive turn next turn. Well, one of two things we can do. We can either just play the Blood Crypt out tapped and cast the Frantics, or the Thirst for Knowledge, rather, on their turn. Or we could just go ham. I think right now we want to wait to go ham. We haven't depleted enough of our hand yet. Hopefully this thing lives. If it does not, I like our chances a little bit less. Could just be Oblivion ringing this. If he does, that's fine. It's a good possibility he's playing Enchantress. What does this card do? Okay. So you can just create bears with his cards. Well, that's not a bad one. I think I am going to go for this line. Nope. Tag in there for 2, and we'll just Thirst for Knowledge on his turn at some point in time. This hand does not give itself well to a High Tide Flourish. Alright, Aura Shards. Aura Shards isn't really doing much here. This deck does have artifacts, but they're like one-time use artifacts, generally speaking. Okie doke. I'm going to get rid of the Badlands here. Discard 2 cards. What's the other card I want to discard? Probably Diabolic Intent, oddly enough. Well, Labman's not a good one. You can go ahead and find the Underground Seer. And I think what I want to do is tap these 2 for a boatload of red mana. That's going to also turn on the Cabal Ritual for 5 black mana. We're going to go ahead and Frantic Search here. I'm going to use the red mana, I think. And this turn 4, I've played a land, so I'm going to discard, I believe, these 2. Oop, and I misclicked there. I guess I did not tap that. That stinks. The question becomes, do I want to Twister or do I want to Wheel of Fortune? And I think the answer is Wheel of Fortune here. Do I want to cast the Bob first, though? I think so. Alright, well, this could get gross pretty fast. Okay, a bunch of cards that don't really interact very well. I think here... Well, wait. We're going to need one more red mana here. We're going to cast this. Go ahead and Past in Flames here. I think our I think we are there, so we're gonna Ritual here. Well, if Moto will let us. Probably Frantic Search. Let's try to do this correctly this time. Probably just a High Tide, I think. Oops. Don't need to do that. And it's very possible here that we could actually brain freeze our opponent out. Oh, it only shows Storm counter once you have the Storm card. That's kind of interesting to me. 21? 21's not quite enough, so I mean, we can cast this because it's just nonsense. Yep. Probably just get a Dark Ritual here. Possibly get Doomsday. So we're at 25 times 3, 75. We're a wee bit short. No, I don't need to do that. And 29 should be more than enough. So let's just go ahead and brain freeze our opponent out. If this for some reason doesn't work, I suppose we can go for the Tendrils kill. So turn 4 kill with Storm. Pretty undisrupted though. We're playing against kind of an uninteractive deck, so it's kind of maybe like 2 ships passing in the night. They appear to be like some sort of Enchantress deck, and we're very solidly on a Storm combo deck. And I think we'll just F6 here. It should stop anyways before the mana falls out of my pool. Alright, and is there any way I can make them draw? As of right now, no. So we'll just attack and pass it back to them. So a little bit of High Tide there, mostly ritual-based win. Okie doke. So let's go to sideboarding here. Well, they're probably going to bring in stuff that stops my graveyard. I think I need Defense Grid. Probably not. Thoughtseize, maybe. I think honestly we just rejam it back. That felt pretty good. And I still like that I have the alternate win con, so if they have like Rest in Peace and stuff like that, which is probably a card they run on their sideboard, then we can Doomsday into the Labman win. So I don't think I want to take that out. I tend to take it out quite a bit, but I think in this matchup it's probably just fine. At least I think. We shall see. Having a graveyard is definitely nice on this list, but, well, we'll get to prove that pretty soon. I think this hand's keepable. I'm going to keep this. It's got tons of land, which is not bad. Like, 3 lands is a lot for this deck. Alrighty. I'm going to save the fetch for a shuffle effect, just in case we draw into Brainstorm. Swamp was not an ideal draw there. Realistically, this deck only needs 4 lands. It generally tends to cantrip into mana. So we do have the Doomsday. I think here we just continue playing lands and say draw go, right? Okay. Well, that means Doomsday is actually very, very close. Alright, so here. I think it's Dark Ritual. High Tide. Now let's say Tendrils. Because I don't think I'm going to get Tendrils, so I kind of want to ditch that. Secretly, I think I want the Dark Ritual. But I think it's the least, or the most innocuous card, so I'm trying to kind of bait them into giving it to me. They gave me the Tendrils. Interesting. Okay. Well, if I have the Yawgmoth's Will, which I can very, very soon. Okay. Yeah, opponent's ruthlessly mana screwed. Alright. We will get the Will of Yawgmoth here. Do I need red mana here? Probably not. Probably just turnabout. Oh, I won red mana. Why not? We'll get some more rituals, and if they really want to give me a storm count, they'll give me Wheel of Fortune. What are we at right now, 11 or 12? Yeah. I mean, that's lethal with tendrils here. I guess we named Force of Will, even though there's like no possible way. Maybe Pact of Negation. You still lose to that. Alright, and there's tendrils for, what, 28? Turn 5 kill, turn 4 last time. Not hugely fast, but probably about the same rate of speed as like red deck wins. So there we go. There is a match with tendrils. Let's play them with something different now. Pretty cool deck though. I mean, I think this deck's sweet at least. Especially for being 100 card Singleton, like I think it can do some pretty impressive work as a 100 card Singleton deck. Is it the best deck ever made? No. By no means is that. Produce some Oath here. So the thing with tendrils, I think this deck would actually be great if folks stop playing like all aggro decks, because White Weenie does probably fish out a turn faster. Like the Death and Taxes versions. Plus they have a lot of good hate cards for this kind of deck, but I think against control you'd see this shine a lot more, or that strategy shine a lot more. Hand's fine. Good controlling hand. Can't complain. A little slow, but can cast most of its spells. I mean, obviously, Mystic Confluence is a pipe dream right now as it stands, but alright, looks like a green to beatdown deck. Possibly elves. Well, I wonder if they go 1-drop and make it a 2/2. Alright, that does not make me assume they will do that. Metallic Mimic. I think I'm going to say okay to that. So they're playing a tribal deck. Possibly their Cats list. Yep. Well, I want to start hitting lands here. So I could Abrupt Decay this, but I think I want to remand the next target. You know, I really don't think I want to take the turn off and just get beat down. Casting Latnam's Legacy. Alright, if this thing just attacks, then I will most certainly... I think I'm going to go for a Legacy if that's the case. Alright. Well, I'm going to get the Bayou here, I want to say. Yeah, we'll put back the Mystic Confluence. Just it's got a long time until it's relevant. As of right now, we just need to hit lands, so we'll draw 3 here. which is nice. Alright, what I like doing here is just inquisitioning them. It's very possible that they have a 2 or 3 drop that they just cannot cast due to their kind of subpar mana. What does Dense Foliage do? I don't really like that. Although, I'm going to get rid of the Enlightened Tutor, I think. If they opt to play that out next turn, as opposed to cracking their Myriad Landscape, then I'll just Abrupt Decay. I think I will allow that to resolve, though. Or I could remand it looking for a land drop here. That's also a very valid option. I do have Jace, which allows the game plan to kind of go a little more smoothly if we manage to do it. But my opponent's going to do nothing here, so I'm just going to go ahead and Abrupt Decay this target. Really because I can right now, and it's just for mana efficiency. The next one I can hit with the Hero's Downfall. So, am I really nervous about anything my opponent has going on? Not really. The top of their deck's irrelevant because they're going to shuffle. Yep, they can go do that. I'm just going to look at my top few cards. I do still have Force of Will as well. What do I pitch to it? I don't know. It's close between the Remand and the Memory Lapse. Memory Lapse is a pretty strong card because with Jace, it's basically a hard counter. If I really want to do that, but typically speaking, you want to make them redraw it anyways. This is not that good. So I think this, and we can shuffle. Yeah, that was not a good pull with Jace. Just 3 straight lands. We'll see what they do on their turn. Obviously, they're to pretty big mana at this point. Can play their 5-drop artifact, although I don't really think that's a concern, because I'm just going to be controlling the board anyways. Maze of Ith, is that a problem for us? So this is an Oath deck. It only plays 2 creature threats, but one of them's Emrakul, so, I mean, Maze of Ith can stop the damage from Emrakul for a turn, but eventually it just gets everything. Yeah, I think this is fine. Alright, well, we're going to play the fetch. I think we fetched beforehand to hide the fact that we don't want these cards on top. Find a Trop here. I'm just going to draw. Okay, well, we certainly don't want Emrakul, so let's put that and then Dark Slick on top. And then we'll say go to our opponent. And we'll see what they get up to here. If they just pump this thing with like Gavany Township, which they may to try to kill the Jace, then I'll probably just Hero's Downfall it. We're getting close to a point, too, where we could utilize the Cephalid Coliseum. Can't be the targets of spells, but they can be the target of Jace the Mind Sculptor. Alright, well, I think what we do here is just, I'm going to force them to draw this again, because I think this card's not that good. And I can even remand it on the following turn, because they have a land that doesn't produce mana in play. Oh, wow. That thing's kind of cool. Do I want to bounce that? I can afford to take 2 with the Jace, it's fine. Or take 2 on the Jace. Alright, we know our top few cards. I'm just going to draw again. Alright, well, don't want this, don't really want this. I think here we just go ahead and do this right now. I mean, hell, we're on our way to hard casting an Emrakul. Another thing we could do is draw 3, discard 3, and get rid of the garbage cards on top of our deck, which I may actually do if there's something relevant to counter here. I am going to just bounce this, I think. Alright, we knew Emrakul was coming. Alright, well, I think this time around I am going to Cephalid Coliseum. My mana is developed quite aptly, and, well, it is nice to have some cards in the graveyard. I really want to get Emrakul out of off my top deck, and I haven't found a good way to fetch in a while. So, yeah, okay. I'm going to Ghastly Demise this thing beforehand, though. Okay. Go ahead and get rid of the Emrakul here. Probably the Tech Edge. And I'm feeling like the Stifle is not very good right now either. The Damnation I will keep, but we'll reshuffle the library up. And hopefully Emrakul is not back on the top of our deck. Well, very solid pickup there, a shuffle effect. You know, shockingly enough, I'm not going to shuffle yet. I am, wait, can I hardcast this thing this turn? Yeah, I can. Do I want to hardcast Runescarred Demon? Yeah, I think I do. Although I really don't want it to stay in play. Do I care about the damage? A little bit. I've taken a decent bit. Still have the Force of Will here. The Demon really doesn't do much. I mean, what do I get here? Probably Oath. And then you know what I can do? Actually, this is how I play it. So I get Oath here, and I can bounce this thing with my Jace. Yeah, I'll lose Jace, but having this thing in my hand ensures I'm going to hit Emrakul. Alright, the Trained Carsicle. If they play multiple creatures, then I'd actually probably even be happier with that. Alright, Dense Foliage. I feel like they have to draw or play creature cards. Okay, well this on top, and I suppose this on top. We'll pull out the Wasteland here and just get rid of this. And I think say go. I don't really want to shuffle here. I kind of want to get them to play another creature out. And or just kill my silly Runescarred Demon. They could just start going ham with the Gavany Township on the Trained Carsicle, but that doesn't really get there, I don't think. Alright, this is perfect. So, yep, you have another threat. So I'm going to just Abrupt Decay this thing and probably just play out the Oath and say go. And again, just hang back. This is a control deck. Like, I don't need to be swinging. You know, I probably could have him down to 8 at this point. But if he, you know, I want to force him to use his answer cards against the Runescarred Demon if that's what he wants to do. The Oath is really how we're going to win. Now, I know I'm not going to have haste on this silly thing. Adorn, Pouncer, it's fine. The only issue we're going to run into here is we're not going to have haste on the Emrakul. But do I think that's really that relevant? Probably not. We'll draw here, put this and this back. Okay, we're going to sideboards here. Alright, I like Languish in this matchup. Perish, probably not as much. I don't think we need Beast Within either. Let's give this a shot, see how it does. They do have some Embalm dudes too, so maybe we want some cards like Relic, or Nile Spellbomb. I think we're going to stick with this, though. Actually, Flash Freeze probably wouldn't have been bad either, because you have a lot of green cards in that deck. Well, what do I think of this hand? Honestly, I think it's a keep. Oddly enough, like, it can get ahead really fast. The only issue is, like, it's not... doesn't really have payoff. But it can fetch a bunch of times and have tons of mana. Yep. And we do get to do a turn 1, a Dig Through Time, which is pretty sick. But we are at 0 cards, so we've expended our whole hand to find the best 2 cards in the top couple. Muddle the Mixture is an assured... Oath of Druids. So that was a pretty powerful opener. Not going to say it was anything but that. That was pretty disgusting. The power of Fastbond. Fastbond is like a very high upside card, but the downside to it is when you don't have draws like this, just kind of not great. Like, the reason it's in this deck is the Yawgmoth's Will deck. Alright, well, we could kill that thing if we wanted to. Alright, we'll transmute this. I think we wait on casting this. Is that right or is that wrong? I mean, it would have been nicer to hit a land. So, I mean, we certainly get the Oath here. I think we have to wait. I don't mind taking a 1-1 beats for a little bit, even though I did do a lot of damage to myself. I think we wait and leave the counter magic up. Unfortunately, Tech Edge is not quite Wasteland here, because we could have definitely punished this. If I had Wasteland, I probably would have done it. What do they have here? Okay, that's fine. So we'll get hit for 3 here. I just think I need to definitely leave up counter magic here, I think. So, go ahead and play this out. If we kill the Automaton, we get rid of 3 damage. If we kill the Loam Lion, we get rid of 3 damage. The Automaton is better over time, but they have like an O-ring or something. Phantom a Tiger. Alright, well, I'm just going to counter this because I don't see a point in exposing myself to more damage here. This is toughness, or is this... yeah, toughness, so we'll just get this little fellow right here. And leave him with 1 critter, 4 cards in hand, but we're going to get to Oath of Druids next turn. And we randomly have a Dark Petition, which is live, to, I guess, find Yawgwill if we needed to. We did not hit the fire, or the Dragon Breath. What do we get here? Possibly an Oath. No, we get Loam, I want to say. Oops. Yep, can't do any of that yet. Oh, let's limit resources here. Hammer the hand. I am going to go ahead and... Nope. Suppose leave up Force of Will and then we can Intuition on upkeep next turn. No, we can't quite do that. So if they play a creature, they just die probably. If they don't, which would be smart, but then again, they have to answer the oath. But I have Force of Will. Intuition's quite powerful here, though, because it allows me, okay... Well, what do you find here? Like Reclamation Sage, Kasali Pride Mage would probably be what I would think you'd want to find. It's a cat, and it also blows up Oath. This Oath deck is quite powerful. If that hasn't already been evinced by the gameplay of the deck. Yep, there's the Pride Mage. But I don't think it's going to be able to get there. Alright, we'll go ahead and draw here. Don't want Loam this turn. Yeah, actually I do. So here, I think we end up getting the Forbidden Orchard, the Dark Depths, and likely the Raven's Crime, I think, yeah. Or, we could just get another land, because we can make a land drop this turn. Yeah, I think we just do this, because it's an additional land drop, because we can only get 3 back with the Loam. And that allows us to actually hardcast the Force of Will, right? So it's 2... Well, actually, no, we screwed this up. We screwed up our tap job here, unfortunately. But they helped us out. Alright, and I don't think we need to play the depths out here. So now if they play the Kasali Pride Mage, we can just Force of Will it. Hardcast Force of Will. Alright. Tap this for blue on end step. And 100% to find Emrakul. Question is, do we mill ourselves? It's weird, it was showing the promo art for Mana Vault. Do we mill ourselves, which is possible. We can go down to the very last card. And do we hit Dragon's Breath to just win this turn? So it's 20 damage, well, 21 damage even, in the air. Yep. Yeah, as I said, that feels like we hit. Alright, and he goes ahead and packs it in. So if you're not familiar with how Dragon's Breath works, if it's a creature with converted mana cost 6 or large or greater, then it can come out of the graveyard and attach to it, gives it haste and fire breathing, which we can actually pump the Emrakul for 1, so I guess technically this does 22 damage, and it gets all their permanents. So that's my version of Sultai Oath. This is a more controlling build of it. I think I've seen some 4 and 5 color Oath builds that I think I don't prefer it as much as I like something like this, because it's just a more controlling deck. And it can play a very long game, or it can play a fast game, i.e. Fast Bond. The second game showed the power of it. We were able to get ahead quite rapidly with Fast Bond, despite a misplay with our mana tapping there with Life from the Loam, but our opponent kind of salvaged that for us. And yeah, we were able to get there with Force Will backup. We have the Dark Depths combo, obviously, in the deck as well, so it can play out like a land still deck. But yes, very, very potent. And I hope you guys enjoyed this 100-card session with Storm and Oath, Sultai Oath. 2 combo-style decks, one an aggro combo deck and the other an combo control deck that I think are both very valid contenders. I think the Oath deck's probably a little bit more match-neutral than the Storm deck is, but the Storm deck is certainly a very strong deck as well. I would say probably a tier 1.5 to tier 2 deck. I do think it can contend, but it's just not with the best of decks. It just doesn't quite have the consistency that the best of decks do in capable pilots' hands. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and take care now.